This is the KoperCrabb podcast.
I'm Shani Crab.
I am Naveen Copperweiss.
Today on the podcast, we've got Malcolm Pugh, Riff Lord. He's from Inferi, A Loathing Requiem, Artisan Era, Demon King. You probably know him as being the tech death fucking titan.
Snake breeder.
Snake breeder.
Former, I guess.
Are you still breeding snakes? Is that still a thing?
Nah, that's game over.
What happened with it?
We were just touring so much, and I had so many, and it was just hard to make it happen, hard to make money doing it while I was gone because there's so much that goes into it.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of like, you gotta get rid of them so I could. I mean, we toured. I was in 2019, I think, and we toured a shitload that year, so it had to.
Touring a lot with
here take care of.
Touring with Inferi. You guys were hitting it.
Yeah.
I remember one time when we were on tour together, which I didn't even mention. You were in Entheos as well. You played guitar for us, and you saved our asses with a bunch of solos on the Infinite Nothing. But I remember you telling us a story one time about like how you had to keep the mice downstairs in your basement, and there was a water leak, and you like found them all drowned inside of their.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
Dude, it's so fucked up. That like haunts me to this day. I think about it periodically.
Pretty haunting.
Yeah. One of them chewed a hose, like it was like a gravity fed system that had like hoses from a giant bucket, and one of them at the top like got a piece of the hose and chewed it just a little bit, and it all just poured into the top rack and just went all the way through and killed everything. And there was just like floating mice and rats. I think that was the rat rack. So it's just like big giant rats just floating in there.
Damn.
How many were there?
Hundreds.
Oh my fucking God. That's my nightmare.
That actually happened to my brother Sean. Actually, that happened to him.
What? It wasn't like, hundreds of rats though, was it?
No, like we had a leak in our sink, and we put like a bucket under it. And then, I don't know, it was filled with water, and all these rats got in there somehow. I don't even know. And he was like, heard some of them swimming around and opened it up, and there was like a bunch of half dead ones and ones alive.
Actually, they make mouse traps with buckets of water, and they have like little spinny tubes that go over the thing, and you put bait in the middle, and they'll try to go get it, and they'll just turn over, and they'll just fall in the water and drown.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, because they obviously can't swim, those fuckers. Yeah. Their little feet.
Well, yeah, they can swim, but when there's a bucket, there's nowhere to go. So they're spending hours and hours like trying to stay afloat, and then they just tire out and die. It's pretty fucked up, but
yeah,
that's really fucked up. I feel like there are more humane ways to kill rats, but I mean, like
we have a fucking mouse in our house right now because it's like getting cold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we put out some live traps, and we put like dog food and like shredded cheese and apples and shit in there.
Yeah.
And he's not fucking with it, so I got to figure something else out.
Yeah, I feel sort of bad about this, and I was actually thinking about this today, because when we moved in here, there was like some mice running around, and I found where they were coming from, so I like plugged it up. But at the time, I was kind of like, all right, dude, it's time for me to like step up. I'm gonna be like man of this fucking house. Fuck it, I'm not gonna shy away from these little bastards. And so I got like an old school, like kill trap. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
the classic shit.
Yeah, the classic one, dude.
Classic.
So I got a bunch of the small ones, right? But I would just hear it go off, and the food would be gone. So they were like too fast for it.
Intelligent.
They're clever as shit too, though.
So then
once it happens.
Yeah. So I put one down in the kitchen. We heard it snap, right? And I go in the kitchen and I'm like, oh, fuck, got him, And then I pick it up and the fucking thing starts moving around, dude.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, oh.
It was not strong enough.
No, and then he got out of it. Like he just got the thing off of his head and ran off, right?
Right.
And so then I was like, all right, I'm going to fucking get this guy, Fuck this mess.
The war is on.
I was like, I don't actually. In hindsight, I wish that I didn't do it. I was like, what's even the difference? What, like a mouse in the ceiling? I feel kind of bad about it. But then I was like, all right, I'm gonna get him. And I went to Home Depot and got like one of those fucking big traps.
Oh yeah, for the rats, dude.
Yeah,
dude.
And got him.
I mean,
and like I put it. I knew where he was up in the attic, and I went up in there and I put it down, and you know, I got home from work and I moved it aside and I went up there and looked and I was like, yeah, he got.
Damn.
But I mean, at least
it is what it is.
It's not that bad of a way to go. Like you just get smashed and then that's it. Like you're done.
Right.
You know, like
right. Except for the first time. The first time he got smashed and he was like, fuck this shit.
I know. So
Super
I honestly felt
science.
bad about it, and after that I was like, you know what, dude, I'm way too like soft hearted for this mice killing business. I'm just gonna let it be, dude. I don't want to do this. At the same time,
one mouse can turn into a lot of mice. Then you got a problem.
Yeah,
That's
and
real.
dude, we do hear them up there still from time to time.
we do.
So, but I don't know, whatever.
It's inevitable. They're gonna be around.
And we live right next to a huge field, so it's like,
oh yeah, you're done. Yeah, it's gonna be a battle forever.
I had mice for a pet when I was a kid, so I got 2 mice from Petco, and the Petco person told us that it was 2 males. But it ended up that one was female and one was male. So they started fucking reproducing in this cage. And I went in, like, I stopped paying attention to them. I kind of like let them, I was like, let's let them die off. So I put them in the garage, which is really fucked up. But I went out to the garage and the baby mice had teamed up and eaten half of my fucking original mouse, dude. They're savages.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was fucked.
Raising rats. This is when I first started breeding snakes, and I started getting rats in the house downstairs in the basement. I realized that like once they run out of food, it's game over. Like there's the only thing left to eat is like one of the weak ones.
Would they do that?
And they'll fucking destroy it like a piranha, dude.
Dude,
like piranhas, they'll just devour a dead fucking, or they'll kill the weakest one.
Mm-hmm.
Until you feed them again. You know what I mean? If you think, oh, they'll be okay, they eat all the food, and then like you check on them again and the food's gone and they got hungry and there's like a bunch of them in there, they're done, dude. Like one of them's getting eaten.
Yeah.
It's just how it is.
Fucked. The world of mice crazy, and rats is really fucked, man.
Yeah.
So
have you guys ever seen that documentary Rats on Netflix?
The one where it's like all of the rats under New York. Yes, dude.
You saw that?
Insane.
Yeah, we saw that. It's got to be like that because you've been to Paris, right, Malcolm?
Yes.
Okay, so the first time we went to Paris, like we were walking around the streets and there were so many fucking rats just running around the streets that I was like, this has got to be like that New York movie, just like cities of rats underground. It's fucking.
With those old ass fucking buildings that have been there for centuries, and it's just like they have like tunnels and shit.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
It's crazy.
Well, fuck, man. So what have you been up to? Have you been? I know that you went kind of like all in on the Artisan Era label, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And stopped working at the record plant, right?
Right.
That's kind of the last I heard. Which I was like, damn, dude, congrats on that one. That's fucking legit.
Thanks,
yeah. I mean, it's been like really fucking awesome to see how well you and Mike have done with Artisan Era, because you were like, you were a label when we were in a band together, but since then, it's like you've become like the tech death label, and it's really awesome. Okay. It's awesome, man.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's been pretty cool to see like the steady growth over the years. Mm-hmm. And I think it was like 2016, like mid 2016, where it's like, well, I had quit working at the record spot because I got off tour with you guys for the Contortionist and went back to start working there after a few months, and they tried to put me in the opening position.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of like giving me like my position back after like working there for like 5 years and like getting promoted 5 times.
Yeah.
And I was like,
this is a vinyl, for those who don't know, this is a vinyl pressing plant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the like, I don't know, 3 on the planet.
Yeah, it's like the biggest one in the States. I think it's like one of the biggest ones.
Oh wow.
But yeah, they're pretty shitty. So I just walked out, and that was literally the last time I even. Yeah, I haven't clocked in anywhere since then.
So you were like, it was like a movie moment, like fuck this, I'm out of here, and I'm just gonna.
It was literally like they had me testing records, like for audio quality, and then they had between tours they had a change in management, and that guy was just new, and he was like, "Well, you're not really doing anything special. So we're going to put you back on like inspecting, which is like the first job you do."
Gotcha.
And I've been there like literally 5 years. I was able to run the presses, able to do all sorts of things. Like I was basically a manager in my position before tour.
Yeah.
Right.
So once they said that, I just literally didn't even clock out. I just got in my car and went home, and that was it.
That's what's up, dude.
Dude, that's like the legit. Like, I'm out of here. Peace.
It also sort of always fascinates me when people like work at places that have to do with the music industry. And then when you get back from tour, they're like, fuck you. You're going to be like the bitch around here. Even though you're off playing music, like doing what we're all about.
Yeah. Right.
So you were kind of just like, I don't even care what happens. I'm just not working here anymore. Peace.
Well, at that time, I still had snakes. And I was able to live off the snake income for a while. So that was like kind of holding me over for a little bit. And then, so that was like 2016. So yeah, for about 2 years until we started touring with Inferi in 2018. Yeah. I was able to do the snake thing, and then
Got it.
that gave me time to work on the label and like get my graphic design skills up so I could do like all the promo stuff and all that shit.
Okay.
So it was kind of I didn't want to not have a job, but at the same time, it was like, fuck this. Like, I'm not completely unable to do something when I put my mind to it. So I was just like, I'm going to put everything I have into this and hope it works out.
That's really cool, because we're kind of like going through the same thing right now. It's like Naveen and I are both that same type of person. Like, we need to be fully invested in shit. It's hard to like have a job and then have a band and like come home from your fucking job that takes all of this time out of your day, and then you're like, let's go full in with the band, dude. I'm like stoked at 8 o'clock at night. It just doesn't work that way. So
no, it doesn't.
So, yeah, I mean, we're pretty much like been talking about it a lot. It's like, okay, how are we gonna go all in on this and not
for sure
waste so much time, just getting by? So
So what year?
Tricky.
What year did you start Artisan Era in?
Technically 2014.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we when we put out the Inferi record, we were like, well, let me back this up. When I put out the first Loathing Requiem record in 2010,
which is your solo project, in case anyone doesn't know.
I tried to technically that's the first Artisan Era release, because like I was like, well, fuck it, I'll just release my own shit. A lot of labeled bullshit caused this, but so I was like, I'll release it myself and put it out. So that was like technically the first one, but it wasn't legit until like 2014 when we did The Path of Apotheosis, the Inferi record. It sold so good, and Mike and I were like, well, let's just use all this money, invest it into the label. Yeah. We made the label legit, and like, let's just do it this way. Pull all that money back into it, and then that way, whenever our projects, need to record or whatever, we just use that money.
Totally.
So not like you didn't say like, okay, we're gonna go get a couple Xboxes. You're just like, oh, well, I'm not gonna take any of it, and just this is gonna self-sustain. Just keep it going.
Yeah, the idea was to self-sustain the projects that we were working on.
Yeah.
That way, it didn't have to come out of pocket from us working or whatever. So we just put it back into it until it grew and grew and grew. And then we're like, well, we have enough money to maybe invest in a project outside of our bands.
Right.
Who was the first band that you signed?
Virulent Depravity.
Okay. Oh shit.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
and that was like 2016.
Okay.
So really, like, your inspiration for it was out of a dissatisfaction with being involved in labels.
Yeah.
What
Basically.
was there like a like moment that made you like something specific that happened that made it?
Yeah, it's
You don't have to like go into it if you don't want to, but I think I might kind of know, but you don't have to like, you know, name names or anything.
Yeah, basically I just kept getting fucked by labels, and felt like every band I was in that was associated with a certain label kept like just kind of fucking up the trajectory and momentum of what I was doing.
Yeah.
So I eventually was like, you know what? I'll just releasing a record can't be that hard. I'll do it myself. You know what I mean?
I know.
And it was complete opposite of what I thought. But you know, learning through the mistakes, I can't even believe what I was doing that far back. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So you think you were sort of somewhat like naive to think like, oh, I got this, I'm gonna go do it. Because I feel that way about
overly naive and too confident.
Yeah. I mean, that's honestly how I feel about pretty much everything I've ever done. You know, I'm like,
me too.
Dude, I'm the fucking shit. I got this.
Exactly.
And then it's like, you get there and you're like, what have I done?
Yeah, totally.
What have I done? I'm
everything
such
that you
an
try
idiot.
to do, you're literally like trying to learn how to do it while you're doing it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
To me, that's like how I've done everything.
Oh, totally.
Yep.
I mean, even to this day, dude, to this day, like before the podcast, I'm online, like on YouTube, like how to color grade GoPro footage. You know what I mean? Like, because it's like we're trying to figure out so much stuff these days.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I want to do, like, making music's not what it used to be.
You can't just be in a band.
Yeah, you can't. You just can't.
You
like,
can't.
if you want to do, I think the only people who can get away with doing that are bands that are like BT Bam level. Like they were already
grandfathered in. You know?
Yeah,
exactly.
They're already good to go, so they don't have to worry about that, you know. But like, if you're a smaller band, you know, or whatever, or starting a new it's like you can. And this kind of hit me like real hard the other day. I was like, because I've always sort of had maybe a little bit of like not a chip on my shoulder, but I'm kind of just always thinking like, man, this fucking internet craze, you know, such a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, I miss the days where you could just hit the road and like, cause you know, in Animosity and stuff, like dude, it's like there was the internet, but it was like one guy in the band just had to like post like an MP3 on MySpace.
Right.
And well, that was it. You know,
like all three of us are around that age. Cause Malcolm, you're 35. That's how old.
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah,
okay, I thought so. So it's like all three of us are from that age, that era where it's like you went on tour and that's how your band was well known. And
exactly.
And
like that was
for us, it's like we've kind of had to like learn ourselves into the millennial, like the younger millennial generation, where it's like everyone's online. Like it's just weird compared to what I'm used to.
I have to learn how to use a DAW. I have to be a master at Photoshop. I have to learn how to edit video footage. I have to fucking learn, you know, algorithms and hashtags, and you know, it's just like, and it's just to fucking play sick music.
I know.
Exactly. And the thing is, so I've been thinking, you know, instead of being like, man, fuck this fucking internet shit. It's like, it's not going anywhere.
No,
it's not going anywhere. And if you want to exist in it, then just learn this new stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
that's only going to make you better anyway.
Yeah,
dude, exactly. And I feel like that's kind of what separates people that I know who have kind of like faded out compared to people that I know who have like stayed in the game. It's like they either got with it or they didn't. They like, and you know, it's just the way that it goes, no matter whether we want to face up to it or not. It's new generations happen all the time. You got to just get with it.
I mean, this is probably, you know, what they were saying about, and I was thinking about it, like kind of hit me one day when I was like driving around. I was like, they probably said this about like books, you know? It's like, no, I'm not going to write down my story. I'm trying to tell it around the campfire. Fuck that. You know what I mean?
Doing it live, baby.
Yeah. So it's
like,
why be the guy who's like stuck in I mean, it's just, this is how it is on our planet. Like,
I never thought about books. I'm sure there's like storytellers that go around and like,
think about it.
Pay a fee to like get some guy to tell you some, you know, some myths and shit.
Dude, I'm sure
there are still storytellers who are like, fuck books, dude. They fucking ruined my art. It's
right. And then you got to figure after the book, it was like, what do you mean you're going to make my book into like a play?
Yeah.
Like
Right.
other
It's like,
actors
that's
are,
lame.
no, fuck that, you know, and then
Yeah.
and then the play from the movie and the movie, you know, like it just keeps going on, and that's what's happening now. But like, you know, I just can't see it sometimes because I was so used to like I'm just really used to like what we did in Animosity. That's kind of like what I compare everything to, because that's like how I learned what it was.
Right.
But I'm just starting to think it's like, you know what? There's also, not only am I wrong to keep thinking that, but like you said, it's actually pretty cool. Like I actually like learning how to color grade footage and fucking learning Photoshop.
I get hired to do fucking graphic design shit for other bands. You know?
There you go.
There you go, man.
There you fucking go, dude. And
So
it's like the people
it's like
who
another income.
It really is.
And it's like the people who learn it are going to just keep going and maybe even have more opportunity, and those who don't, that's what it is here. Survival of the fittest. Sorry,
I think it serves people a lot more to be more open-minded rather than closed-minded about that type of thing. If you want to succeed, you have to evolve with the times, and it's
You gotta
just
do
how
everything you can to do it.
You really do. And so since Inferi was a band like back in the day, so Inferi had the same experience that Naveen is talking about with Animosity, where it's like you were touring. So when you brought Inferi back, were you like, all right, I gotta like mold to the? Was there stuff that you were planning on doing differently? Or you knew
not
you
really.
had to do?
Well, I guess what the situation with Inferi was, we did one tour prior to 2018, before we broke up or went on hiatus or whatever.
Was Nico playing guitar for you?
No, that was an Infold Darkness. He filled in for bass.
Okay,
and that's how I met him. And originally he was going to do some be second guitarist in a Loathing Requiem, because before I started Inferi back up, when I was still in Discreet in like 2008
Discreet,
or 7.
You've been in like every fucking band.
I get around.
It's hard to remember them all.
Yeah. So Nico, he literally like learned a Loathing Requiem songs in like a night and then did a playthrough video. And I was like, well, who the fuck is this kid?
Yeah.
So when I joined Infold and we needed a bass player fill in for that tour, he like learned it in like a week or something, flew in, we jammed and went on tour. But yeah, with Inferi, when we got back together, it was more like, well, let's just put an album out and see how it goes. We weren't really like planning on touring, you know, but then like the album did really well and like kind of blew up a little bit, like semi blew up, you know, in the tech scene.
Totally.
So it was like, okay, well, you know, maybe we might have something here. So then
you get that first little bite. And you're like, fuck, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And while finishing the record, we lost 3 members. So, so that was like, well, so that's why we didn't tour after. So it took 4 more years to put out another record with a new lineup and then be like, well, this one did even better. So now let's tour. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
We had the lineup to do it. And then still we had to like get fill-ins who are now permanent members of the band.
Gotcha.
So,
Yeah. Who are the fill-ins that you had to get?
Andrew Kim and Stevie Boisier.
Oh yeah. Both sick players.
So the first time you guys went on tour was in 2018. Is that what you're saying?
Second time. The first time was in like 2007.
Yeah, it was with Geigen, right?
Damn.
Is that who?
No, that was also Infold.
Oh, that was Infold.
Our first tour was literally, it was just us.
Okay.
It was like MySpace.
Yeah, MySpace.
We booked it through MySpace and like, I think we were out for like 10 days. I think we only played 3 shows because the other ones fell through. And like, we pulled up to a venue.
I know that. This
like,
sounds exactly like the first Animosity tour,
I know,
dude.
it's like, that's the only way touring went.
You get to the venue and it's just like boarded up.
Oh,
and you're just like, there's not a show happening here.
I remember on the first tour I ever went on, we played like a North Dakota show, which never happens on tours.
Right.
Now.
I don't think I've ever even played it.
I haven't been there since Entheos started. And so it was like a 12-hour drive, and we drove 12 hours to pull up to like this reservation. And a kid came up to the van, the promoter of the show, and he's like, all right, guys, I'm not going to be able to do the show. Could I and I can't pay you, but could I get a couple t-shirts? Like,
Oh
And
shit!
it's like, no, dude, we have no
Oh,
fucking money,
no.
and now we have to drive 12 hours back home. That's just
that's
how
that's
it
old
went.
school.
That's
dude.
how it
That's
went
old school.
back in the day.
That is old school.
Yeah. So I mean, okay. So to bring it back, it's like, is learning how to do Photoshop worse than that? I don't know. I don't think so.
No,
You know,
it's not.
I don't think
No.
so. So
No.
it's kind of
As a
better.
matter of fact, the only reason I know the dudes in Discreet, well, like deeply know them, is because our last show of the Inferi tour was with those guys, and the drummer Andy, he literally just gave me their guarantee, so we had gas money to get back home.
That's
That's
a good.
solid.
That's a good guy
That's
right
solid.
there.
So that was like,
Damn,
the,
I
like, 'cause we
have-
were like literally fucked.
Have you talked to Andy at all lately? I haven't talked to him in like, I don't know.
I talked to him. I talked to him a few months back. Every once in a while, we kind of retouch, keep in touch. You know what I mean? And this year, I was gonna try to re-release the Discreet record with vinyl and stuff like that.
Okay.
But COVID like delayed all of our vinyl releases, so it's like,
yeah.
Oh,
so
really?
that's still in the works.
So have you been kind
this
of
year's
like,
10-year anniversary? But,
Wait. So it delayed all the vinyl releases because the plants have been closed.
well, no, they're open, but with the social distancing that hit at the beginning, some of the like the printing shop that they worked with, like that ended up going under for whatever reason. So then that delayed that situation. So they had to like use another print shop. So all their work was delayed. And then like, for whatever reason, I guess it's like when tragedy strikes, people want to stay happy. So like people buy shit.
yeah,
So, like,
right.
It's true.
they got flooded with work. So,
Okay.
as opposed to getting out like, 40,000 records a day, their workload is like now like, 100,000 records a day or something,
Wow.
where they can't keep up with what they're doing. You know what I mean?
Got
Or
it.
some shit like that.
Got it. It
So-
seems like it would be wise for somebody to start a fucking record vinyl pressing plant. You know what I mean? Like, because every label and stuff that we talk to, it's like, all right, well, we're getting online and it's going to take 3 months to get the vinyl. Like, fuck, man. There's
There's
what's
so
the deal
much
with that?
goes into it.
Yeah.
There's so much. You gotta send the music to get cut on the lacquer. Then you gotta take the lacquer and you gotta coat it with nickel and make a plate out of it. Then you gotta do it again to reverse it and get the opposite, so it actually has the grooves on it. And then you gotta put it into the thing and put it into the pressing machine.
Right.
And then you gotta make sure it sounds good and it's not fucked up. You know what I mean? Then you gotta pack it all. It's such a insane process for what it is.
Have you like kind of thought about it? Or I guess
No.
everything that goes. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way.
Well, because I imagine that since you run a label, you're constantly like thinking about, okay, what can we make? What can we do in house to save ourselves money?
For sure. And I think a lot of the reason we've had like success on that end is like because we're able to like ship out merch without using like another company to do it.
Totally, dude.
So
Totally.
because they take 20% of whatever, then you got to split it with the bands.
Yep.
And then, you know what I mean? So it's hard to, so.
So do you guys print? Who's printing your merch?
Well, Indie Merch prints it right now, but they're not shipping it. It's not on their site.
Okay.
Everything comes straight from us.
So is it like
So-
you and Mike shipping out all the merch and stuff?
No, we have a guy who ships it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So you just hired a homie
now-
to do it?
Yeah. The original guitar player for Inferi, actually.
Nice.
The other original.
See, that's the way to do it. Just get everybody involved.
Yeah,
Like,
it is
exactly.
the way
do
to
this thing.
It's like you got to bring up the homies with the come
Right.
up, you know?
Yeah. Everybody's got to eat. You know what I
Dude,
mean?
totally.
You got to keep your homies with you.
Totally.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome, man. No, that's really cool. I mean, when I heard that you were just doing it full time, that you quit the job, I was like, damn.
No, it is inspiring because we knew you like, when we were together a lot, it was really the beginning of you doing all of this stuff. And honestly, like I know about Tech Death and I've listened, I listened to the bands, but being in a band with you, you're like the guy, you have your ear to the ground with that kind of music.
Oh, yeah.
And so you introduced me to a lot of shit and made me aware of like a whole bunch of stuff that I wouldn't have been aware of. So it makes sense to me that you would be one of the guys in charge of that scene because you know what the fuck is going on.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's been super cool. And like, it seems like every release that we put out gets like positive feedback from like, fans and stuff like that. So it's been really cool to like kind of like keep hitting these home runs, if that makes sense, with like releases.
Totally.
Because me and Mike are super picky with the bands that we want to work with.
Do you get
And
get people hitting you up all the time about like trying to get signed?
Yeah.
I bet.
Our
That's
emails,
sick, dude. That's sick.
Our emails are full of stuff that we haven't even had time to go through, and even my personal inbox. Sometimes I just like I can't get to everybody. For one, I have super bad tunnel vision.
Yeah.
So once I'm doing something, I have to like complete that before I can focus on anything else. So like
that's a fucking good trait. I got the opposite of that. I'm like, I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna go over here. Like I'm gonna do. It's just fucking madman.
Yeah. So unfortunately, my social media game is like kind of fluttered because of that. I'm just trying to like be on the grind and not, in that realm as much.
Yeah.
So it's hard to like, get back to people and like listen to everybody's songs and all that shit. But
you're gonna have to hire another homie, dude, to go through all this shit.
Do you have Kayla hired?
Yeah, no. She's fine where she is. We have a guy running the social media for us now for like the last 2 months.
Oh, that's smart.
Nice.
It makes it way easier. So
yeah, that's legit.
So how do people how do people appeal to Malcolm and Mike and get on the label? What like separates the special from the not the special?
I don't. For me personally, it's just gotta be sick, like super sick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I like to at least like look at what the band is trying to do and like see that like they're trying to fucking put in some hard work. You know what I mean? Like I saw something, on the internet where someone was like kind of bashing the label because like the label didn't get back to them about a submission.
Oh no.
I didn't have never thought of like before, because it's like, I mean, why would anybody think? I come from a different time where it's like it took a lot of effort to get signed.
Dude, so much.
Or to get a response. Any response was oh my God, we got a fucking response.
I know. You had to make like an EPK back in the day, make a beautiful looking kit. But now it's like, you kind of have to have views.
Some bands do that though. And I do try to I think it was like maybe 4 months ago, me and Mike, we got drunk together and we was like going through submissions and we're just like trying to,
you guys need to start a reaction channel, dude. React.
Dude, we thought about it, but I'm such a savage.
I know. I don't think I'd be able to. Dude, you know me. I don't think I'd be able to do that either. I know. Yeah, I think about it too. It's like I can't. There wouldn't be much that I don't know. It'd be bad.
Us too, man. Yeah. Like I don't know. Maybe one day we'll get the fucking balls to do it.
I can't react.
Because like yesterday we had to get a new. Like my camera kept on freezing, and I realized that it was because I had an old memory card.
Oh shit.
So I was like, all right, let's go get a new memory card, and then let's just make a long video just to test it out, And we were just doing like a joke, like reaction videos to some stuff on Facebook.
Yeah.
But I was like, dude, we could never post
no
this,
one
dude.
Would like us.
Like, just to make sure
it's savage.
Yeah, dude.
Because every other thing is like,
though. Maybe it's just like, hey, it's no real hard feelings. It's just funny to talk shit.
It's fun to clown, man. It's so fun.
And honestly, if somebody did it to me, I wouldn't be that mad.
I mean, Malcolm, you've toured with us. You have been in a band with us.
Sure.
We've all clowned together. Like,
clowning is fun.
It's so fun. Come on.
What else is there to do?
I mean, shit, dude, like if this COVID thing goes on for like another 8 more months, it might have to come down to that. You might have to start a Twitch channel.
I know, we're all going to have reaction channels. Well, if you do that, have us as a guest, because it'd be like the most disliked video on the internet.
Also, I got to say, dude, if anybody wants to roast me, go for it, dude.
Please do.
Like, there's so much stuff about me you could roast. I could do it.
Dude, I think about that too. It's like, I mean,
roast me,
roast the fuck out of me.
Whatever, man.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
We should start doing like a metal roast. So we do it in front of the person so that it's
That'd be pretty epic.
I think we'd be
If
good
they were
judges.
present, I don't know if I could do it. I'd feel bad. I'd be like, it's not so bad, dude. Keep going, man. You know, I'd be like trying to be positive.
It's like the Comedy Central fucking, celebrity roast shit.
So basically, don't send your stuff to the Artisan Era because we're all going to start a roast channel.
But dude, that's actually pretty sick, man. Like indicator that you have more emails that you could go through. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like mine, I can go through my emails pretty quickly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if I had so many that I couldn't get to them, I'd feel pretty good, honestly. You know?
No, it's been really cool, man. Next year we have like crazy amount of releases.
Yeah, you got that Abiotic, really, which I am guest vocaling on, and I think my guest.
Oh yes, indeed. On the next single, which comes out in
tomorrow.
Tomorrow, or yeah.
I think it comes out tomorrow, so that'll be 2 days before this podcast airs. That single comes out. Dude.
Oh yeah, check out that fucking Smoldered by Abiotic, motherfucker.
Check it out. And dude, they're fucking, I think it's their drummer who's doing all of the.
Dude, he does everything.
Dude, that guy, I watched the video like yesterday. John sent me the video for it. And when my part comes on, the animation to that part, I got chills with the audio and visual together. I was like, holy shit, this makes it like an even better song. That guy is so sick. His name is Anthony. His name's Anthony, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
drummers
sick.
always do all the sick shit. Straight up, dude.
Dude, I know, dude. What's up with that?
The technical mind, bro. That's what it is. But I mean, if you're doing so much label stuff, are you like, because that's kind of for me, like one of the things for me is I'm doing so many things. I'm like, fuck, man, like, how am I going to just practice? You know, like when do I do it? You know, I've tried to, basically for me, it's kind of like at like 8 p.m. or something like that, 9 p.m. Yeah. I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to set everything aside. I'm just going to practice for a while. Guitar or drums or whatever, you know what I mean? But like, it's hard, dude. That. Yeah, like it's hard. Like, when am I going to just be creative if I'm doing all this fucking, YouTube college and whatnot?
Yeah.
You know, like do you find, I'm sure you find that if you're running a label and you're on YouTube college.
And you're in like 5 different bands at the same time.
Well, yeah. So this year was crazy because we put out a release we didn't plan on putting out for Inferi.
Oh, the EP you just put out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was not planned. We got home from Europe and we were like, okay, well, let's book time with Dave Otero for the record, for the 5th album.
So you knew for sure, not to sidetrack, but you knew for sure that you wanted to go to Dave Otero. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Because Archspire sold it to us. They were like, he's awesome, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And we've been trying to like, think about how we can like, just level up in something, you know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
So that was in talks and we had it all, scheduled out. A couple weeks later, we go on tour with Shadow of Intent, Signs of the Swarm, Brand of Sacrifice. And we start hearing about this COVID shit. We're like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah, dude. I know. We had that same fucking feeling, dude. We were supposed to go on tour with Archspire.
Yeah, we were. Dude, we were.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and I was like,
we were about to leave on 2 months of touring, so we were doing an Allegiant tour before that, and Riley was the TM, and I was like seconds away from ordering thousands of dollars in merch, and I was on Riley's ass. Like, I was on Riley's ass every day. Like, dude, I'm not gonna order. Tell me what the fuck is going on. Like, are we not doing this?
For me, it was when NBA got canceled. When NBA got canceled, I was like, we're not going on tour.
It's like
there's not a tour happening. That's not happening. Yeah, and we were kind of stoked because it's like we got 2 pretty decent tours back to back. Like we were like getting ready to go to do it
for sure.
But I mean,
we had some dates with Black Dahlia, and I was like, oh, this is like fucking greatest moment of my life. You know what I mean?
Totally, dude. I still remember you because the first tour you did with us was Black Dahlia, and you were fucking stoked. Yeah. We were both stoked. We love Black Dahlia. Yeah, dude.
Yeah. So so this year it was like, well, at the beginning of the year we were like, well, we're gonna do all these tours and stuff. We got like festival and whatever.
Yeah.
We'll be okay to fucking pay for this fucking this album. You know what I mean? Because since I'm in the band and the label, I want the band to like take care of itself as much as possible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
So it was like, well, we'll be fine. Let's book it, send a deposit, all that shit. Then like a couple weeks later, the world shuts down.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Okay. Well, gets closer and closer to our dates, and we're like, well, how are we going to pay for this?
Right.
So I was like, well, let's release the EP with the songs that like could be on the album, but we just don't have enough room for.
Yeah. Okay.
And we made it happen in like 4 weeks. Like
Nice.
literally like, all right, let's start on the EP. Rewrote some songs, added lyrics, blah blah blah. Recorded them, tracked them. And I think 4 weeks, get it tracked, mixed, mastered it in the next 2 weeks. So 6 weeks total. Sent it off to get vinyl made. Then like 2 weeks later, we're fucking going to go over.
Yeah.
Do shit.
So
It's like a month between.
So you had the full length written before.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So in that time, in those like 4 weeks, you're saying, like, are you personally basically doing that like all day, every day, or are you like, because you're like, I got the like, I'm just gonna go all in on this, and I'm not doing YouTube college. I'm not looking at submissions. I'm just fucking going. Is that like more how you work?
It was kind of like delegating like where I'm going to put it at what time,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we got Chris to come in, do all the shipping for us, so I don't have to like leave my office and go do that.
Yeah.
And then that helped out a lot. So yeah, it was like at one point we were like just filming playthrough videos and getting out as much content as we could while in the background writing the new album.
Yeah.
And then once we hit the EP, we're like, well, we can't work on the album anymore. So let's get this EP written as soon as possible so we can get back to like really fine tuning the album.
Yeah.
And that was hellacious. On top of that, after we were done with the EP, I spent like 3 or 4 days writing and recording the bass on the Demon King shit. Mm-hmm. And so then 3 weeks later, we're going out to Dave's to track the album. So it was just like back to back to back.
So you did end up going to.
Yeah, you guys like finished doing
your
your album like a month or so ago, right? I remember.
We were done in the beginning of October. I think we left the last day of August. Yeah.
Do you think that after that experience with Dave, you'll keep going back for?
I think so. I'm not really sure.
Did he produce the album, or he just tracked it?
I don't know. I don't know what producing means.
I think honestly, there are a lot of I think that there's like a fine line in producing, because a lot of the producers I know are actually the person who is making the entire band sound the way they do, like writing the songs.
There's no room to really produce things that are like pretty much written.
Yeah. Especially when you get into the super tech realm, it's like it just has to be like this. Yeah. There's no producing happening.
Yeah.
Right.
But
I will say though, he did throw a lot of suggestions around with the vocals and drums, and some guitar stuff, and I think most of it we like worked with them on at least to like flesh it out, see if it worked better than what we had. Yeah, you know what I mean. So if I'd argue if it was produced by anyone, it was both him and I.
Right.
You
totally. Yeah.
If that makes any sense. But
yeah, definitely.
I was the only guy in every session the whole month. You know what I mean?
That makes sense, because to me, it's like you and Naveen kind of have like the same personality in a band, as far as like,
for sure,
you're the guy who's like there for everything. You're overseeing everything. And in the long run, it's like,
tyrant, just a total tyrant.
Well, tyrants. But it's like
Absolutely.
You write a shit ton. From my experience with you, you're like fucking writing all the time, and you have a vision. And you know how you want your bands to sound. And that to me is like, you guys are very similar in that way. Like you're the kind of the head honcho, if you will.
For sure. And I've learned over the years that like I used to be, like you said, a tyrant and just like my way or the highway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think you maybe used to be, even when we were in a band together, you were even like more tech.
Yeah, I think I was a fucking asshole. I'm just like growing out of being an asshole.
Yeah, me too. I'm trying to not be like that for sure.
Same.
Like, I've definitely learned a lot since then. I mean,
me too.
Fuck, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So I want to do, of course, when people are working with us or whatever, it's like, I've come to realize when you give people their kind of like space to do their thing, it's like they do better than if you just straight up like breathe down their neck and tell them what to do. Yeah. So
until they take too fucking long. then it's like, okay,
Oh, yeah.
you're taking too fucking long.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, speed this shit up. You need me to write that shit for you, dude?
Yeah, and that's also, I mean, a bit of a problem. I'm sure you've experienced this too. It's if you're working with somebody and you could do their job, you know, it's like,
Right.
man, I could fucking get this shit done in like one day. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know, what's going on?
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get it, but I don't know. It's just, I guess, I get it, and I feel you.
It's a control thing.
Yeah, and it's just
really
hard to
is.
make it all just get everything in sync. You know, that's really where I think what I spend a lot of time thinking about is just syncing everything up, you know, and getting it all to work. Right. You know, that's it's like the orchestra of it all.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure.
For sure.
And I'm impatient as shit.
Yeah.
I want it to happen.
Same.
You know what I mean? Like if I conceive it in my brain, I'm like, okay, this is going to happen right now.
Right now.
But I have to remember that like everyone is not me.
Right. Yeah.
And everyone has other lives. So there's like 4 other lives I have to like navigate through in order to get the goals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
I don't
they
like
also have their own goals.
Yeah, I don't feel that.
Dude, it totally
I'm not
is.
feeling that.
Yeah.
But
Speaking of which, is it just you guys now? Is Entheos just you guys now?
Yeah, I mean, the last song that we put out, like, I just played everything.
We
and
do-
then changed the vocals.
we do have someone playing bass on our stuff coming out because, you know, something that we did, I think, learn. I mean, Evan is such a fucking powerhouse that it's like we can't just like have it be like bass
Just
that
bass.
follow. Yeah,
Right.
so we need like a really good bass going on.
But I mean, on the last song, I tried my hand out, dude. You know, I made some slap
And
stuff.
it
Kind
was
of worked
sick.
out.
I heard it.
You heard
I
it?
mean-
Yeah. It's not bad. I mean, like, I'm not a bass player at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just
Right.
I borrowed a bass from Chase, you know, our friend here,
Yeah.
and just I was like, all right, I'm just gonna fuck around with it and see what happens. You know, like I know how to record, so
I mean,
Yeah.
I know,
yeah.
and I think it's turned out pretty cool.
I do
But
too.
obviously, it's not Evan, but yeah, we're putting out.
No one's Evan.
Yeah, no one's
exactly.
Evan.
And it's like with Evan, like obviously we've stayed in contact a lot and
Yeah,
everything,
Evan
and
is-
it's like
For sure.
just the way his life is structured right now. It's just this stuff takes up
His
your whole
priorities are
fucking
different.
life, dude. You know, this stuff is
Yeah.
not like I'm gonna do it here and there. It's a full-time job on top of a full-time job, and then if you have a kid as well, it's like, dude, I get it.
It's
you know?
it's a whole thing.
So, I mean, we've unfortunately / fortunately, I don't know how you want to put it, but we've had to, you know, talk to other bass players and stuff like that. I mean, it breaks my heart for sure, obviously, because we
mine too.
started the whole thing together.
To me,
Yeah, for
like
sure.
to me, it's like Evan will always like, you know, anytime he's trying to play bass on our music, it's like move the fuck out of the way, other guy.
Yeah, he's got
Evan
a
can
spot.
come and
Right,
play.
right.
He's got a spot,
Yeah, yeah.
but because we started it with him, it was Evan's baby as much as it was ours. So, but yeah,
sure.
right now it's like because, dude, you know, it's like in this kind of metal, people like move to other bands, especially if they don't
Right.
feel like they're the main songwriter, which Naveen has been the main songwriter in our band since the beginning. So it's like,
For sure.
so the guitar players have almost always been an operation of like a live guy, you know?
And
And
it's obviously weird. It's weird that I write all the music and stuff. I don't know. It's hard to navigate that one.
but now I think
what I mean?
it's like
It is what it is, though.
just because of the like revolving door aspect, it's like it doesn't make sense to me to announce a new fucking guitar player every year. It's like,
Right.
all right, who's the guy now? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the best thing that we could think of is to continue to take like the most amazing live musicians we can take. Like we're going to take Hugo on bass on our
Okay.
stuff this year, and he's an amazing bass player, but you know, continue to move the band forward as just me and Naveen, because it's like we can 100%.
At the end of the day, it's you guys anyway.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
Yeah.
that's
Like
just
that's the backbone of it.
it's another
Yeah.
weird part of the band. Like Chaney and I we live together. We're always together. So it's like
Right.
we're always talking about the band. We're always talking about this, that, and the other thing. And then with other people being in it, but they're like, you know, somewhere else. It's just,
Right.
I don't know. It's just, it's a weird dynamic, you know,
No, I
like,
totally
and it's
understand. Yeah.
something that like, honestly, starting a band with my significant other, it's like, it's new territory,
Yeah,
you know, trying to
like-
figure
For sure.
out how that's going to work and what it's going to be
Yeah.
like for the other people in the band. And I mean, I don't know. It's just so, but it makes the most sense of like, yeah, Chaney and I are always there. That should just be the band. You know?
Yeah, that's
And-
what that's really how we looked at it. It's like we can like 100% guarantee Naveen and I are going to be playing every show at every tour.
For sure. For sure.
And you know,
But dude, I ought to send you the fucking demo for the new album.
I want you to hear
dude.
it, man.
Dude, let me hear that shit.
It's
Fuck yeah.
crazy.
Let me hear that
Fuck
shit.
yeah.
It's like yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah, every time I see a clip on Instagram or something, it's like, God damn it, Naveen's got a better right hand. You know, he's a fucking drummer.
I know.
What is this bullshit?
Yeah, the right hand thing, it's like
Yeah.
I feel bad because I never have practiced it ever. It's
Right.
just from drumming. It's
I
the
think
same
it's
as
like,
drumming.
It's blast beat. Yeah.
It's literally, and I feel like for me, I'm like, dude, it's way easier. Like playing super fast speed picking is hella easier than doing drums. Like it's way easier.
For
But
sure.
the other, I've been trying to up my game on the other stuff. Like I've been actually taking lessons on guitar.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, from Miles Baker. You know that guy?
Oh, okay. Yeah. What's his other band? He was in Rings of Saturn.
Interloper.
Interloper. Yeah.
Yeah, but dude, I took a lesson from him, and I'm gonna do another one. But dude, like, just doing that one, you know, it was like, fuck, man. I've been like playing guitar so much after what he showed me, just in one. I should fucking get a lesson from you. Actually, now that I'm thinking.
Yeah, I
about
know. I mean,
Dude,
you're
bring it
like
on.
you're like
Seriously,
one of the
dude.
sickest.
Because like, I'm a good student, dude.
do you play drums too, Malcolm?
I learned how to teach myself to pretend to play drums a long time ago.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't know, 2005 or something, 2004. It was like right out of high school, had a band. We had a practice space, and I learned how to play drums better than our current drummer in like a month. So he had to go.
Yeah, it's like, you're out, motherfucker.
He has to go, dude. I'm garbage. So if I'm better than you must
Then
be
you're
trash.
garbaggio. Well, dude,
get it,
because I
dude.
think that one thing, like you're playing bass on this new Demon King, and I think one thing people have no idea about you is that you started as a bass player.
For sure. Yeah. And that bass has like a small piece of my heart that's like, I never get to do it as much as I want, but like, you know, so I was really pumped to be able to do the bass on that release.
I know.
That's
I was
sick.
just jamming that new song right before this podcast. That shit is sick as fuck. Matt
Thank you.
Matt
Yeah,
is
dude, Matt's
he's
sick, yeah.
sick, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking sick. That shit. Who's the vocalist in that?
Matt.
Oh, Matt's the vocalist?
Yeah.
Oh fuck. I was like, damn,
Yeah.
this guy has some fucking sick highs, man. This is awesome.
Yeah, dude. Matt's a badass, man. And I don't know, we kind of came up in the scene together because it's like when Inferi started, Enfold started, so it was always like us like swapping members, filling in for each other's bands and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool to just like, you know, be able to work on a project with them again since Enfold. That was like the last time I worked on anything with them. So
Totally. Are you guys gonna like go tour and do the
I'm not sure. I mean, it kind of depends. Like Inferi's always going to be my number one. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
no, totally.
you know, but I'm definitely going to stick around and make sure like he has what he needs to like get the shit started, because he wants to get it started like full effect, and you know I'm gonna help him do that. You know,
And is
as
that
much
going to
as I
be
can.
released on Artisan Era?
Yeah, it comes out February 12th.
Nice,
Sick.
sick, dude, sick, super
So,
sick.
God, I was just gonna ask something. Okay, so as a record label owner,
Yeah.
how has this year? Has it been a good thing or a bad thing, or like what's the overall summary of how this year has affected you?
The year has been interesting. It didn't affect us negatively as much as I thought.
Yeah.
But it definitely affected us negatively.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I'm looking at the numbers, it's like for like the last 6 years since 2014. When I look at the numbers, it's just like all the way up, and then this year's been like, ugh.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah, 2020.
Dude, I was
Yeah,
wondering
so-
about that because, like you mentioned earlier, it seems that a lot of people have been even more giving to musicians this year.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, for sure.
but that's just like from a singular band standpoint. I don't know how
Right,
like
right.
overall sales and everything is doing, because we're like,
Yeah.
dude, when this started, I only expected it to go on for 3 months, and now it's like we're knee deep in this shit.
We're like a fucking
sure.
almost a year. Well, I mean, not a year, but like coming up.
No,
on a fucking
it's
year.
coming up. It's coming up.
Yeah, I think it was like we had all these releases and bands were like planning on touring.
Right.
So I don't know. It's just it hasn't been bad. I don't want to make it seem like it's been like the end of the world. It hasn't. It's been like
it's just not the same type
surprising.
of like growth.
But the trajectory has changed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll be able to, keep things going. Like I'm not in this for like being a rich dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm not trying to be like.
You don't play technical death metal to be rich?
But being blue collar, but being a blue collar dude, that would be, that's what.
I mean, that's more what I think about a lot, though. It's like, dude, I just want to do the work that I like doing. That's it.
Right.
Like, that's.
I just want it to keep going.
Totally.
Period. Like, I just want to be able to wake up every day and do the stuff that I like to do. And I don't even actually care what happens after that, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
That's it. Until I'm dead.
Yeah. We've had situations, we try to order our vinyl, months in advance because it takes forever.
Mm-hmm.
But, we had like, with the COVID shit, almost 6-month delays. You know what I mean?
Damn.
We had an album come out in September, new release, got their vinyl last weekend.
Damn.
Yeah.
So
wow.
That affects
That's legit.
The thing
You know
is,
what I
the thing is, like Naveen and I have gotten me more specifically, I've gotten super into collecting vinyl in this last year, and I've placed a lot of pre-orders, and I noticed that people are like super forgiving when it comes to vinyl pre-orders to an extent.
Yeah, everyone's pretty good about it. It's like only in the last week or so people are like, we got to cancel the order because Christmas is coming up. People want their money.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Damn,
So
I'm not canceling. Just
I would
fucking
never
write it out.
cancel.
I don't think I'd ever cancel.
So then on top of that, then it's like, well, we waited this long. Now holiday shipping charges have hit. So now it's like, it's like, what the fuck? Things coming from all around with like weird logistical issues that follow with just one thing being late. So like, let alone everything being late and hitting at the same time.
Yeah.
Dang, that
You know
sucks.
what I mean?
So what's it like? Because you're in Nashville. When I gotta ask, dude, I fucking we love Nashville. We've talked
Nashville's
about moving
awesome.
there.
Dude, Nashville rules. we were right before Evan had his daughter. We were like seriously talking about moving there, like buying a house in Nashville and being a part of the scene.
But how's it going in Nashville? Is it all shut down and shit, or what's the deal?
I'd stay here.
Yeah.
You're like, I have no idea.
No, I don't. I leave my house like as little as possible.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's happening in the rest of the world. I think that's a problem too, because like for a while there, it's just like I get up, do label shit, especially like once we had Chris working on shipping stuff out. I don't even have to like do anything. I don't have to leave. I don't have to do anything. So I was just like get up, do stuff I have to do, work on music, and then like I'll just get drunk. And then like that was like rinse and repeat. And then it was like eventually you just like you have to like wake up from the coma of like I'm drinking too much.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
It's like
yeah.
Because you're like I don't have to show up.
Boredom.
Yeah, you're like I don't have to show
It really
up.
is. I think that I've been more drunk. I've been drunk more this year than I have any year in like the past probably 5 years.
Oh,
I
dude.
have to agree.
Dude, when COVID
I like
first
to party.
when
Us too,
COVID
brother.
first hit, dude, I had like a whole month with like no work, nothing to do.
Right.
So I was just working on converting our van into like a little like van or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And dude, I was just chilling, like just drinking and doing the van like all day, every day for like a whole month.
Weather's good in like March.
Yeah.
It's like you're just hanging.
It was sick, dude. I loved it.
It was.
I fucking want to go back, dude. That was awesome. Like honestly, that was seriously for me because I was like so just in deep with like work and doing all this other stuff, and I felt like I was about to snap, and then COVID
it was a
hit.
relief you needed.
Dude, it really was. Like when COVID first hit, I was like, yes, thank you. Like let the fucking world burn. I don't give a fuck. Like that's straight with me. Like that's cool.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
That's cool. And I just worked on the van and chilled and like, luckily we were in a good situation. We had a little bit of money saved, so it's like we had enough. I wasn't like worried about covering our expenses and stuff like for a couple months or whatever. Yeah. But I mean, that was super fun, to be honest. So I feel sort of bad saying that.
The beginning was sick.
Yeah. I mean, I feel sort of bad saying that because I know, a lot of people have had, obviously.
For sure.
Obviously, it's been horrible and stuff. And I wish that we could get going again, though. You know what I mean? Like at this point,
I mean, like, I wanted to, like, I feel like, God, I don't want to get canceled, but I feel like it's just a risk that we take. You know what I mean? Like, you go out, the flu exists. There's no cure for it.
Yeah. No, I get it.
I'm not saying that COVID's the flu or anything. I don't want anybody to fucking get it twisted.
No, I feel the exact same way. And dude, unfortunately, like, you can't deny that we live in a time where like every single thing out there is used for political reasons. You can't deny that. You can't deny it. So I'm not partial one way or the other. I don't fucking care about politics. That shit's fucking lame. But it's like, I do sort of feel like hopefully moving forward, we can get things going. Maybe they do this cure thing or whatever, and the politicians get their credit for being the saviors. Cool. I don't care. Let's fucking get it over with and let's move forward, man. Like whatever has to happen, honestly, let's just get it over with and let's fucking go. Because like, for us, dude, like we know
it's totally possible.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's gotta be. And it's bizarre to me that honestly, it's fucking really bizarre that it's become a political issue, Like I kind of thought, all right, well, here's a thing where everybody can kind of come together and it's like, all right, let's get this over with. Let's see what we can do. But it's like had the opposite effect.
Well,
it's horrifying.
Do you guys remember? Okay, so when the Twin Towers were ran into by planes, 9/11, the whole country kind of like got together and everyone was really friendly. Yeah. And everyone was like really like trying to stick together and say like, we're all in this together. We love each other. Like, let's be a team as a country. And I kind of expected that to happen with this whole thing, but it seems like it's been even more divisive, which is like,
it's been opposite.
Dude,
which is saddening. It's like, dude, let's just do what we need to do. Whatever.
The problem is everyone wants to be a hero, like at home by themselves, right? So like they want to be able to like crucify any sinner in their eyes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Totally.
It's like, like as if they're perfect.
I know. And dude, I've thought that like, not to go too deep, but I think that a lot about people who do like really horrible stuff. And it's like, we all sort of do like little things in our life that we know are not good, right? Like whatever it may be. But it's like for some people, that little thing is just a little bit further than somebody else, and it's like, I think has to do with like, there's bad and good in all of us. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, they're totally.
That's all I'm saying. And
you
it's
just
like,
need to balance it back out.
Yeah, and like
everybody needs to bring a little bit more compassion and love, even though it's over the internet.
I know,
dude. Totally. It's like, you'll see a lot of people just being super fucking negative on the internet all the time, and it's like, dude, that this isn't helping. Because
I used to be that way, dude.
Yeah.
I used to be a fucking piece of shit on the internet.
Really? I don't really remember you saying anything that was super negative.
Oh, dude, I just used to like fucking post my religious views and like, especially like early Facebook,
Oh, yeah.
Soapbox shit. Just like, oh, I have opinions, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But then like over time, it's like you learn that like, first of all, whatever you say on the internet, no one gives a fuck about.
Yeah.
You're just making yourself look like an asshole.
It's true.
Yeah.
And you're not changing anyone's life. So
no,
shut the
definitely
fuck up.
No, I know, yeah.
It's
I will admit, sometimes I go on there but I say stuff that I like is clearly a joke.
I still do too. But I'm not trying to like violently hurt people with words.
Malcolm, I saw you post something that I was like, he's kind of right about this. Like a week or two ago on the internet, and you were like, why is everyone starting like 1 million small bands, whereas you could just be in one small band and try to make it a big band? Like what?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember why I brought that up. It was probably because I was like, I think I was having like a writing rut with like a Loathing Requiem, and then like doing those stuff with Demon King, and then like still having Inferi and all this other stuff. But like I constantly see like smaller bands that haven't really like even got out on the road.
Yeah.
Like, why are you trying to fucking make a new band?
Yeah.
Just put all your energy into one band first and get like a solid foundation. Go meet some people.
Yeah.
Build a network. Fucking, do that shit first before you start trying to like do some other shit.
Dude, totally. I have to wonder like where the like want to be in 50 different bands comes from. If like none of them are like super, no one knows about any one of them, but you're in 50 different bands. It's like, are you just joining 50 different bands to see if one takes off and like to see it? Like, what's the point of it?
Don't put all your eggs in one basket theory.
Yeah. But sometimes it works. Sometimes putting all of your eggs
maybe
in one.
do put your eggs in one basket.
I think, all your eggs need to go in the same basket.
Right.
They have to go to the same place, right?
Yeah.
Put them in the same fucking spot and then take them there.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, and I get it. And that's how I feel about, because I'm like super enthusiastic about learning new stuff,
Right.
So sometimes I'll be like, all right, do I really even need to do this? It's like, am I really going to learn French horn right now? Like, it's cool. I want to learn French horn, but why? Get rid of that. Like, at a certain point, I need to realize, like, don't do that. Just
French horn, not a necessity in metal.
It's like, it's not a thing.
Get the plug in, dude.
Get the plug in, do the French horn on there, and move the fuck on. Like, and that's legit. Like, for a while, like, I don't know, 10 years or so ago, I was like, dude, saxophone, that shit's way sick, and it's like I bought a saxophone. Like, I was gonna learn how to play saxophone, and like I learned some scales and stuff, and like I could rip a major scale, dude. Not gonna lie, but I was like, why am I doing this? It's like I no, like, this is just stupid, and I have to learn so much shit that I don't even want to, such as video editing.
Right.
Name it. You fucking name it, dude. Like, and so it's like, okay, I'll just do that, and that's where that's my main struggle, man. Straight up.
Dude, I totally know what you're saying, because I think it was like 2 years ago. I think I was like having one too many beers on the computer looking at YouTube, to the point where I was like, I ended the night being like contemplating like getting a beehive and trying to make honey and shit.
Yeah, dude. That's what I'm saying.
Like small shit. I was like, man, it'd be sick to have like a beehive or a bunch of beehives, and so like, what the fuck, dude? Like, just keep her a fucking eye on the prize. Baby.
Seriously,
it's like, dude, you're a guitar player. Yeah. Stop trying to get a fucking beehive.
Dude, I feel that so hard, because I'll get into all kinds of weird shit, dude. Yeah. Like, one time for like a couple weeks, I was just super mad into paracord braiding.
Oh shit! What the fuck is that?
It's like, like,
no one knows.
That like nylon like army cord, like
okay,
they make bracelets out of it and shit.
Okay.
Naveen was making some killer friendship bracelets.
Hold on, actually, I might.
Oh, okay. I think I know what you're talking about, like the PVC pipe kind of shit.
No. Okay. Here, actually, I'll go get it.
Yeah. Show me what you're talking about.
But yeah, dude, it's true. It's like, it's easy to like want to try to get into 50 fucking million different things and put your energy somewhere else. And I noticed that. It's like, I do. It's like with video games with me, I just can't get into that shit, because I'm like, I should be probably working on music and not playing video games all the time.
Here, it's this. Like this kind of shit.
Oh, yeah. I forgot you made that.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, like my little brother, there's this one knot called like a monkey's fist. And he's like, oh, I dare you to make a monkey's fist. And I'm like, all right, dude, challenge accepted. And it's like, I spent like a whole day like doing a monkey's fist. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, dude, why? Like, you don't need to do that. So I think I've got a little bit better about, like, if I'm going to do a new hobby, it should benefit.
It should be like musically focused.
Yeah, it should be like, okay, let's learn how to make videos or fucking, whatever. So,
for sure.
And then with the podcast, I've had to learn how to do a bunch of bull,
I kind of want to get into streaming, because I want to like kind of do like orchestral pieces, you know what I mean? Like on stream.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like kind of like show people like my approach to it and all that stuff.
Totally.
So that's something I've been thinking about doing. I just don't have the time to like figure out the OBS shit, and then But I'll get.
Oh yeah. OBS is like what? I mean, I'm using OBS right now. It's like super easy. It's sick. Yeah, it's sick. And I will say that's
just being a coward.
I mean that I will say that is one of the things about learning like new tech stuff. Like, I can just go up in a new program. I'm just like, all right,
Yeah.
You know what you want to do, so it's
For
a lot easier than like when I'm first starting out. It's like I don't even know how this works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. See, that's where I'm at. I'm like, I don't know how the camera is supposed to like do the thing. I have to do a little bit more research, but like,
yeah, camera stuff. But here's the thing.
I can do the playthrough shit, but like streaming.
Well, what I will say is this morning you told me that the camera that you had looks like shit, but whatever you're doing now looks really good.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Oh, this is just my phone, but like my camera was supposed to be like fucking dope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
I thought I didn't know what kind of situation we were going to be in. So like the last podcast I did, it was like Skype. So I just like recorded my shit
on your
with my mic and the camera, and then we just like synced it up and post on their channel.
Totally.
I don't be doing post because that's way too much work.
Yeah, we don't do
that.
post.
Sure.
We
That
don't
makes
edit
sense.
shit
That
out.
makes sense.
You're not seeing it, but I'm doing like cuts between.
Yeah, we can
streams
like what
and
we're
all that stuff.
we're watching is the actual episode happening in front of us.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sick.
Yeah.
You're getting some little bogus, just like camera.
Oh, that's all right.
I know. I
I
don't
was like,
think.
man,
I don't
I was
think
just
you can
watching
even-
that shit with Rudy. I was like, man, this don't look like that shit.
They're trying to fuck my episode up. These motherfuckers.
No. Yours looks good. Probably.
It does. It looks
better
really
than-
good.
Probably better than Rudy's.
Yeah, because you have this like nice green ambient situation
Oh, yeah, see,
happening behind you.
I'm getting prepped up for that streaming shit.
Dude, I
Yeah,
know.
dude, you
I
gotta
was
do
gonna
it, man. It looks
compliment
good.
you on
Yeah,
that
it looks
lighting
really good.
situation. It looks good back there.
Thank you.
And I'm looking at some nice camera over here on your monitor. It looks pretty sick.
Fuck yeah. Oh yeah, this thing.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's like $400 or something.
Yeah.
I have two of them, but that's like I do that. I use these with all the playthroughs that we've done on the Inferi channel.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, so-
nice. Yeah, I've been looking at getting a new camera for sure. Got to do it.
Yeah.
We just ordered a fucking drone though. What up, dude?
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's right.
Dude,
you
not to interrupt you, but I think that we both have
you're
the maybe we talked about this before, but we both have a metal tattoo. You have one on your arm and I have one in my lip.
Oh, dude, I forgot about that
Metal
shit.
for life. It says
dude.
meth now at this point, so I don't
Man.
show anyone or remember it. But
Yeah, I've heard people make comments about my metal my shit, but that's okay, dude. Because I was 18 and I was hype. I was like, yo, dude, metal forever, and still here I am.
I know. I was gonna say it's
halfway
like
dead, and I'm like, yeah, metal for life.
it hasn't gone away. Do you think that your love for metal will ever go away?
Fuck no.
I don't think so either, man. I remember like back in the day, people would be like, "Oh, it's a phase. It's just totally a phase."
It ain't no
Like,
face.
no,
It's because
it's
it's
not a
deeper
face.
than other music to me,
Yeah.
at least. I have deeper attachments to it.
I remember when we were on tour though, and you were like, you got into like a non-metal band,
Yeah.
Dirty Loops. Remember that?
Oh, you got into Dirty
Shit is
Loops?
so sick. You got me into
I
this.
can't.
you were
I
like-
honestly just
You're like,
remember
this
you.
is kind of sick.
And Snarky
dude.
Puppy. And Snarky Puppy.
Snarky. So, because you were like super fucking metal when you were in our band.
Playing with you guys really opened up my my field of view.
Really?
So, yeah, 100%.
Wow.
Damn, crazy.
Yeah.
That's
But
really
yeah,
cool.
I mean, I get it though, because it's like metal's so like deep, and so it's like fuck you, we're doing this crazy stuff, and we don't care
Right.
what you think, and so it is cool to hear other bands like Snarky Puppy and whatnot who are kind of that
sure.
same like
They're on the same level.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah,
that.
dude,
They're just
totally.
different music.
exactly
Totally.
exactly, and that's what I've always been into. You know, that's why I've always been
Yeah.
into like Frank Zappa and like just
Right.
anything that's deep and weird and has got sort of a fuck you attitude. That's what
sure.
I like. You know, straight
Yeah.
up. I like just.
That's healthy as shit.
Yeah,
I
just
think
music
so.
that's offensive in some way or another. Like it doesn't have to be
Yeah.
lyrically offensive, but just like if normal people heard it and they're like, "Oh God, turn this off." That's what I like.
Yeah,
you know?
same.
That's a good range, dude.
You know what I
That's a good
mean?
range.
Like,
Yeah, for sure.
but it's kind of shitty because it's like I can't my Spotify like I can't put it on random. Like if we're having like a family event
Oh,
or something,
no.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, I'll just do shuffle. It's like it's either like
way.
hard gang like rap, right, or like
Yeah.
death metal. Or like the craziest like prog jazz. It's just it doesn't work, you know.
Totally.
But
Yeah.
so
Everyone's
don't.
confused.
Yeah,
They're
it's
like,
just-
turn it down.
The vibe is weird, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is way out of left field, but do you know Theory?
I know enough theory to navigate like every time I have a theory problem, I figure out how to solve it. I remember it, and that's how I learn.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know like all the vast like I can't like play a chord and like quickly be like, this is a minor third add 9. You know,
I like that you said that in a super nerdy voice.
Yeah, because that's what it is, dude. It's like,
this is a
fucking break, okay?
Yeah, that's honestly.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I wish I could, but I can't. So I'm gonna make stupid voices when I talk about it.
Yeah, but I think that's really cool because you're like
jealousy.
one thing, like one of your like super strengths, I think, is you're a fucking sick lead player and writer. So I think that for people who like maybe starting out and they're like, oh God, do I need to know a bunch of theory to like be sick at writing leads and solos? That can be inspiring to them because it's like most people who are out here writing like the sickest leads that you hear don't always know that much about theory. They're just fucking around as much as you are, or as much as, you know, the person.
Going for the feels.
Yeah.
Like,
you're going to go for the feels for sure. But like, it does help knowing a little bit of it. Like I've been trying to work on that. And it's like, you can just get there a lot quicker.
For
you
sure.
know what I mean? Like just
traps
learning
me,
all the modes.
It traps me more, I think.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
once I learn it, then I'm like, well, that's the rules.
I know.
Right.
I'm like, fuck, that's not the rules. You were just not doing it.
Yeah.
It's not the rules now.
I know. And I find I struggle with that too because I'm just like I've been really just drilling like the modes. Like that's what I do on guitar now. Like all day, I'll just for hours. Like okay, every mode. Like I you know.
Yeah.
But then if I come to it where it's like, well, you got to keep it in mind. It's like you can bend the rules a little bit. You know.
For sure.
Don't
really
get too
can.
stuck. Because when people get too stuck into it, like it's like music's like too diatonic.
Mm-hmm.
I tune out. You know what I mean? I tune out when like. The stuff that makes me interested is like when I hear some weird key change or like some out stuff, I'm just like, okay, I'm into that.
Right.
You know, I don't like it when it's all just.
Because it's kind of predictable.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
like,
you're like, okay, I can see where this is going.
Dude,
and
totally.
it changes the, you know.
Yeah. I just don't need to listen to it.
I feel that way with lyrics too. It's like if you're doing rhyming lyrics and it's like, okay, the first word you're rhyming with is grass and then the next line says ass.
You have 8 more words you can rhyme with grass.
Exactly. It's like it bums me out so hard when people just throw me things that I know are coming. I don't. It doesn't. It's not like inspiring to me at all. But if you throw grass in and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna like make it do something else. I'm gonna switch it in, and that stuff is interesting.
For sure. And there's one thing that Inferi's always had is rhyming vocals to a certain extent. Mm-hmm. But working with Stevie, like we're both fans of hip hop. Like I used to be a huge hip hop fan when I was younger, and then like had my metal.
Then you became like, tech death.
elitist metal, situation.
Yeah.
And I started to grow back into it over the last few years.
Elitist tech rap.
Yeah, dude. But like we're both into that. So we're like, and I've always written some sort of fucking lyrics for the band. So having him on board, we're kind of like inspired by like the flow of, our favorite rappers and shit.
Yeah.
Totally.
And applying that to like what we're doing to like kind of change it up from being just like, not just rhymes, but like, change up the rhythms to like, make it more interesting when we get to that part.
Totally. And one thing that you are good at is like the storytelling version of lyrics.
Oh yeah. Yeah, dude. Stevie's perfect for this band because like this is the first album I haven't had to like write most of the lyrics.
Really?
I just sit back and like, like come in whenever he's like kind of needing help with a part or whatever. I just fucking do guitar, dude.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. That's the dream.
It's like, shit. So are you allowed to say what the storyline for your album is, or are you keeping it under wraps?
I'm going to keep it under wraps for now.
Cool.
Just because I think the fans they'll like it. They'll enjoy what's going to happen, even though that's probably like 2 people. But I just want to.
Well, all 2 of
them.
them are going to be surprised when they fucking hear it.
But yeah, we kind of decided that like maybe this might be like we're gonna give the concept album thing a rest because we had so much fun with the EP of just like being able to like have a wider concept and not like a storyline with timelines and every song has to be like, this is what this part of the story is. And
yeah,
I mean, that's so fucking much work. And
really
totally. But on the other hand, I think that, I mean, from playing in a band with you, I think that inspired me in a way because I've never been the concept album type. Like straight up, I'm not like a concept album writer. But since then, I've been like, because you and I like talked about lyrics and shit because that's your thing. And I've been like, it actually is cool to have like a full all-encompassing story with this thing. Because like a lot of the stuff that I'm inspired by, it's more like one poem, next poem thing as opposed to like a full-blown story. But the story thing does have its place. It's like,
yeah, for sure.
People enjoy that. They like hearing lyrics. And I mean, dude, I fucking love country music. And one of the things that stands out in country music is that every song is a story.
Yeah. Yes. People love story. It's like if you have any piece of media, like a film, what's the most important thing about the film? Not the way it looks, not the way anything about the story except for the story. The film has to fucking have a good story.
It's true.
If the film has no story, then it doesn't attach itself to people.
It's true.
Exactly. And you find that a lot these days because there's so many other distractions. Like, oh, I'm going to learn how to get my footage to look super sick or the production value. And sometimes, you can see it pretty quickly. Like when there's just not that like soul there, within the
like in Star Wars,
the music or.
Like in Star Wars, have you been watching The Mandalorian?
I have. It's saved my life from a Star Wars perspective.
Dude. Yeah. So you think the last couple of okay. First of all, they're bringing back Hayden Christensen in these. That's
what I hear.
So what do you feel about that? Because I was like, dude, that guy fucking sucks at acting. So
yeah, he's not a good actor. So I'm not pretty pumped. I'm not pumped about that. No one. I'm not going to speak for everyone, but like
everyone thinks he's going to suck.
For sure, and I don't blame them. But like, I want to see Vader, dude. I don't want to see Anakin or Anakin without Vader at all.
Yeah,
I just want Darth Vader, and that's it.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm a simple man.
Well, isn't that what he's coming? Like, he's going to be masked the whole time, right?
What's the point then?
Yeah. You think that... Why do you think there's no point if he's masked?
Okay. I mean... I don't know. It's kind of like in The Mandalorian.
Right.
Whatever his name is. I can't remember the guy's name. But like, that could be...
The guy who's playing the main character.
I can't remember. Pascal something?
Pascal. Yeah.
That could be literally anyone, right?
It totally could.
To me, I mean, besides the voice and like maybe some like physical acting, but like when you have a masked character, you're really...
It could be anyone. You're totally right. Because, dude, I honestly didn't even know that it was the guy from... he
was in Game of Thrones. He was in fucking...
He was in the God, dude, what's the cartel drug lord from Mexico? What's his name?
Narcos?
Yeah, he was in Narcos. And it's like, I didn't even know he was that guy until like 4 episodes into the first season.
Yeah. So them bringing Hayden Christensen back, like, I mean, come on.
Yeah. He was in the worst rated Star Wars movies of all time.
Yeah.
Except for the episode 1.
Yeah.
Which is the worst movie ever.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's, dark days. We got to take our peaks and valleys.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Not a huge Star Wars guy, so.
Yeah, I know a lot about Star Wars. Naveen doesn't know anything. I've been like, one day I want to sit him down and show him everything in like chronological order. But
yeah,
you have to be like invested to be into that shit.
I don't have much like margin laying around for investment.
But dude, I agree with you. When I saw that they were bringing back Hayden Christensen, I was like, you guys have all the money in the world to cast anyone in the world. And this guy is notoriously he's just not a very good actor. Like, he's just not. So why bring him back for one of the biggest franchises, if not the biggest franchise of all time?
I don't know. I guess it really depends on who's running it. Like if they actually have like a fan of Star Wars, then maybe it'll do some good. But like if it's like the trilogy that they put out and it's just like a, let's take the fans' money. We got like Hayden Christensen coming back. Give us your money.
Yeah.
If it's gonna be like that, then like, wieners.
I don't like that shit. I don't like when people do things only for the money. Because, okay, I'm a fan of The Exorcist. The other day I saw The Exorcist Part 2 for the first time.
Yeah.
And they had like all the money in the world. This money made way more money than the first Exorcist. It's the worst fucking storyline ever. The acting is horrible. They only cared about getting money, and they essentially ruined what could have been like a really good franchise over being money.
On the second one.
Yeah, on the second one over being money hungry.
Right.
It's like, dude, being money hungry is, I get it. Like everyone wants money, but doing things just out of the sake of making money out of them, it doesn't usually yield a great product.
No, it's usually just like people can see the fake, no passion bullshit behind it.
I think
most of the time.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's especially true now. Believe it or not,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because there's so much shit out there. It's just that select stuff cuts through, and everyone's like, "All right, that's legit."
Yeah.
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 So
The cream is really rising to the top these days. Like the more shit is getting saturated.
I think so. So, like, being a dude behind a label, do you like feel this fast? Okay, so there's fast fashion, right? Like H&M and all of that shit exists. Do you feel that existing in music? Because I kind of do. With Spotify and everything, it's like people will like just hear music and not really care about it after like 2 minutes later.
Music is like porno now.
Yeah.
You just like look it up on your phone. Okay, I'm done with it. You're done.
I know.
You get what you need. You're out. You don't have to worry about where it came from, who's making it, all the butt fuckings you took to fucking get all those fucking notes on that goddamn record.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're just fucked.
Yeah.
Spotify is porno.
Yeah, and that's kind of that's a bummer for sure. And I don't know.
But with that being
said, the only difference is you can't have pornos at a show and a whole bunch of people watch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can't go on tour with porno.
You can't make money off of that.
So that's the only thing we got over porno now.
But dude, well, with that being said, because this Spotify Wrapped thing is like a huge thing for artists to do, and I personally I don't really mind Spotify because I don't think like before Spotify, you pay labels money to put out your music. It's not like artists are making a shitload of money off of the label thing. And now, like with the Spotify Wrapped thing and with everyone posting about it, some people do seem to be kind of pissed off. Like, okay, so now Spotify is cool. And I made a joke about it. It's like, okay, so Spotify's cool now, but it wasn't cool 5 months ago when they weren't paying you. So where do you stand on that?
Right. I stand on Spotify. I'm kind of like on the fence.
Yeah.
Because I get like what we were talking about before is like times are changing.
Yeah.
So like I have to accept the fact that like this is it. At the same time, there's nothing I'm going to be able to do about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like with the Spotify Wrapped thing, I get that as far as like the bands because they want to be like, here's our clout. We were successful.
Here's our clout.
Successful growth.
Yeah, totally.
I get it. You know what I mean? Everybody wants that. That's what social media is for. You got to sell people to fucking like your band, all this shit. So I get that part. But as far as like, it has, I have Spotify, I pay for Spotify.
Same.
There's no way to fucking avoid it. It's just like one of those things that like we have to start accepting.
Yeah. It is kind of crazy though, because it's like it's horrible for bands. Like,
no, it's terrible.
You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. I get it. I like Spotify. I'm the same way. I listen to it all the time and everything. Obviously, like for the listener, best thing ever. Right. Best thing ever.
That's what I'm saying.
Dude, it's like having a fucking entire library of music just in the palm of your hands. It's
dude,
crazy.
I saw it coming. I remember, like, dude, I'm not trying to brag, but like way back in the day when I was in Animosity, I was like, because downloading music got kind of big.
Right.
And I was like, this is going to pass. And they're just going to have all the music and you're just going to pay by the month. I swear to God.
Yeah.
I fucking called it, dude.
I believe you.
And like it's happened. And dude, it's like really bad for bands. But
Yeah.
it's just, you can't put the genie back in the bottle. Like,
No, you can't.
it's like too good. Everybody's already had the best. What are they going to do? Like, go back to buying records for whatever $15 a piece? It's just not going to happen. I mean,
I think that's where touring comes in, because like people would rather, in my opinion, I think for the most part, they'd rather support a band they just saw like blow them away.
Yeah,
I agree,
and then they have that piece of merch to take home with them. Be like, I remember that.
Yeah.
And I think that
that's what's cool about vinyl.
Even though this may or may not be true, that when people go and buy merch from a band, even though that band has had to pay their label like, 50% to get the CD or whatever the fuck, people do perceive that as like giving money straight to the band.
For sure.
So they're like more willing to support in that way.
Yeah.
But I don't care about the Spotify Wrapped thing. I get it. And I have sort of always looked at Spotify. It's just another marketing tool. Because yes, a lot of bands like Led fucking Zeppelin made a shitload of money off of their albums, but bands of our kind of tech death they've never really made money off of their music. It's we're merch selling machines. That's how we make money. The Spotify thing is almost just it really is just another marketing tool.
That's
for sure.
To get those people to come to shows and to get them to buy merch. And
even with big bands, I can't, or not even bands, artists, right? Because there's a level there. You know, you got bands, and then you got like the fucking pop artist.
Right.
Yeah,
totally.
I wonder what it does for them. Like, when you have like Drake, who's like #1 on Spotify for like the last 2-3 years, except for this year. Surely he makes most of his money on tour.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But he also probably makes a shitload of money off of Spotify.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean,
if you're at the top, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like if you're making like, 15 billion streams.
Yeah.
I guess.
You got that 0.002 cent.
I mean, it
does.
It will never equal out to making like, however much money, a couple of dollars you would probably make off of an album back in the day.
Right.
It'll never compare to that, but it is.
Yeah.
Times are changing, but at the same time, people I think are buying like more vinyl. I believe I heard a stat that it's like vinyl has sold this year better than it's sold any year since like the late 70s or some crazy.
I think we sold more vinyl this year than CDs.
Really?
Yeah, that's true.
I think so.
So do you see that? Do you see CDs fading out?
Not in death metal.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening.
They like to collect, dude. Those nerds.
Yeah.
Yeah, they like collecting.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, not anytime soon, anyway. Also, in the future, I also see, legislation happening with the internet in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to start to carry over and bleed through this wild west of Spotify and like, the control social media has over our fucking dopamine levels, all this shit.
Yeah.
Eventually,
it's gonna have to go there. It's gonna have to go there for sure, because it's like laws and all that stuff. It's like they don't even matter anymore. Like if you can have all the laws you want, but if you have some like media or a platform to like control what everybody thinks, then
which is Facebook.
Then
because
it doesn't
Facebook
matter.
owns Instagram. Facebook owns all of these social media platforms. So whatever they decide can be the word. They have law. Facebook has martial law over everything because, dude, everyone's paying attention to that. People care about Facebook more than they care about who the president is. Really,
totally.
It's like
it's a.
And if you say the C word, you get shadow banned and no one's going to see your post. So like, and the C word being the pandemic shit.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, and it's crazy. It's like, dude, they're operating lawlessly in a way,
Dude,
And
they're
it's like, I don't know.
it's not even in a way. It's like Facebook can put out whatever agenda they think is the agenda, and they can make it so that people who do not agree with their agenda are silenced.
Yeah, and I get it. It's like, oh, it's a private company and stuff, but it's like, is it at this point? At this point, it's like the biggest way to get information. You know, it's like, it's not private.
At one point, we had to make laws about monopoly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of where we're at. Whatever fucking new word you want to call it.
Totally.
But it's like, it's almost mental monopoly for people.
Totally.
Dude,
yeah. Have you seen The Social Dilemma? That documentary on Netflix?
We were tracking the record when that came out on Netflix, and I was high as shit on mushrooms, so I did not watch it.
No, I wouldn't do that either.
No, don't do it on mushrooms.
So I heard some of what they were talking about. I went out, smoked a cigarette, and I was like, I got it. I got the gist.
Yeah.
No, like, I already knew, like, going into it, like, I get the gist, obviously, but when you see the people who actually created the whole thing talking about it, you know, they're like, oh, we don't let our kids go on there. Fuck no. You know, that's crazy. You know what I mean?
I mean, I think it's easy if you're sitting on the internet and fucking comparing yourself to everything else that everyone else is doing, or like, it's easy to let the internet make you fall into a depression, or to make you feel like a shitty person, or like you've never done anything cool. It's easy to let all of that shit take control of your life. So there's something that has to be done. And I think that the three of us have lived through a very interesting time, because we saw the advent of the internet. We've seen how it can really help people, and we've seen how it can really hurt people.
For sure.
And I wonder, like, what else is going to roll out during our lifetime that's going to, I mean, surely there have to be laws set into place about Facebook essentially running a fucking monopoly over everyone's mind. Because one of the most interesting things that I thought about The Social Dilemma is that, you know, all of the ads that we see, everyone is seeing ads to further dig their agenda deeper. So if you're conservative, you're seeing a million conservative things, and you're never going to notice.
Echo chambers.
It's echo chambers. Everyone is in a fucking echo chamber. And how do we get ourselves out of this while simultaneously trying to be artists who have to promote themselves on the internet?
That's tough, because I went through a weird thing where it was like, just like what you're talking about, like seeing like your peers do shit that, like, man, I want to be that. Like that fucking, you know, everybody wants to be successful. But when you see all your homies and they're doing good, and you feel like you're doing shot shit, it fucks with you a little bit, because you know, that's all you see.
Dude, I've gone through that. I've gone through that. I know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's it's important to just know it is what it is, and it's like
Anyway, my point was I had to like chill for like weeks and weeks off the internet.
Yeah.
Like or not off the internet, but like off social media, just like let all my chemicals balance out. Yeah. Totally. Just like okay, get back in the game and know what I'm attacking now. You know what I mean?
I feel the same exact way, dude. I feel the same exact way.
Yeah.
And that's like, really
No, go ahead.
Yeah, that's really it was the same thing for me. It's like, all right, I'm just gonna like not do any of this and just like read books and work on my van and just be like alone in a way for a while, you know?
Yeah.
Did that happen for you this year, Malcolm?
I feel like I'm such a unstable person. It happens for me too often to where I have to like, you know.
No, that's actually cool that you're saying that, because I'm unstable too, and I've gone through the same shit. Like I'll see people that I know who they've been in bands for a way shorter time than I am, and they're just like skyrocketing to the top. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, what am I doing wrong? Like,
for sure.
Am I
think
like
that almost every day?
Dude, me too. Me too. And I think it's a part of like, you know, I have anxiety. I definitely fall into bouts of depression, and I'm like, dude, am I a piece of shit? Like, what's going on with this? And it's hard to like sometimes I let the mental, like my mind take control over everything that's everything. And
it's fucking, it's stupid. You know what I mean? Yeah,
that's what it is.
So I have to battle it. And like the best way I can battle it is like stay active as much as I can.
Yeah.
As far as like grinding and like,
Totally.
only using social media as the tool to like reach out to my fans, touch base with them, and then dip out.
Yep.
Like just fucking drop and go.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like,
I found
what's up, guys? Love you guys. Bye.
Yeah.
Do you use the Creators Studio, the Facebook thing?
No,
That's super tight, dude. You can I'll do all my posts just from this like Creators Studio page.
So you never have.
So you're not even on. You're not even on the
posts.
website. You're just like, not that I don't go on the website all the time, but like you can just do it all from your computer. So I'll put like the posts for I just started in this week, like posts for KoperCrabb or posts for my own shit or whatever. Like you can have all your accounts on there. It's fucking sick, dude.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
it's hard to set up, dude. It fucking I was on there like YouTubing how to do it.
Right.
But I was like determined to figure it out because it's like when you have all kinds of videos and shit, you got to get them on your phone and then do it to Instagram. Like this way, you can just post it all from your computer. It's sick.
Huh.
Yeah.
And this covers like Facebook and Instagram.
Yep. It's called Creators Studio, and you can have like every single one of your accounts. You just go create post, and you choose what account you want. You can throw anything you want in there, and then you can also put a cover photo, which is sick. So like when you're looking at the Instagram page, like all the different little pictures, you can have like whatever cover photo you want on there. So then you click on it, and it's the video.
And also that
it
way,
looks sick.
And also that way, you're not like getting on Facebook and posting something and then scrolling down your news feed for like 5 hours.
Yeah, it's like a separate page,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong,
I'm such
I
a
scroll
weenie,
around.
dude.
Yeah, I scroll around. Don't get me wrong, I do it.
Yeah.
You're a weenie?
Post something. Yeah. I'm a weenie. I post something, and then like I'll try to like interact with people, and then one bad thing, and I'm just like, I'm gonna do something else.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know. Dude.
Fuck this. Reality struck.
Yeah. It's like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Dude, I do that with those questions. Like I'll post the ask me a question on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I'll get like a bunch of questions, and it'll be like something that I'm like, man, I don't want to answer this shit, and then I just log off, and I'm like, I don't need to answer any more questions.
I think it's natural for musicians or artists and creators to be sensitive.
Yeah.
I feel like most of us we have our own personal levels of sensitivity.
Yeah.
But we're definitely sensitive people in some way.
What do you think you're the most sensitive about?
That's a good question. Other people's thoughts about me, probably.
Yeah.
How people perceive me. I think because I always got picked on when I was a kid until I got big enough to like fuck everybody up.
Yeah, I know. Now no one is fucking with Malcolm because you would beat their ass.
Yeah.
I don't even think
I was a
you would
mixed
because
kid.
you're a
So
big
like back in the day, being a mixed kid, you were the only kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it was like it was weird until.
And that was in because you're originally from I remember you told me like Chicago.
Chicago.
Right? And then you moved to
Nashville.
Moved to Nashville in like first or second grade.
Oh, okay.
So you got picked on for being a mixed kid?
Yeah.
Really?
Hmm?
What would
from both sides?
Oh, right, because when you're a mixed kid, it's like you're not black, you're not white, so like.
Yeah, when I went to a majority, and we moved around, pretty often when I was young because jobs and then like issues with parents and shit. So it was like, well, I'm in a white suburban school. You know what I mean? I look Mexican and maybe Iranian, but I'm half black. So it's like I got all the shit. Yeah. And I'll get older, so the kids are getting meaner, and we're at an all black school, and I'm the fucking cracker without Jordans on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Damn.
It's just like it's crazy shit.
Yeah.
So I've seen both sides, and I'm easy to balance it out, especially now. But like growing up, it was a little harder because I wasn't like bigger than everybody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now you're 7 feet tall, so.
Now it's like, don't even fucking bother.
I'll smash them up.
I mean,
anytime anybody I know goes out without me, they get into an altercation.
Yeah.
You go with me, you're fine.
I know. Dude, I always felt safe around you because I was like, I got a fucking bodyguard. You can't fuck with me.
You'll get fucked up if you mess with her.
Yeah. That is fascinating, though, because I think that people might perceive like someone who's half black, half white as like, oh, you fit in with everyone then.
Yeah, that happened later on in life for sure. After you learn the people skills of like how to like be a chameleon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, I think every adult that is sane has that ability.
Yeah.
I think I got it a little earlier
Uh-huh.
on how to like blend in just the right amount to like be on people's side so they don't judge me for how I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that totally makes sense, dude. I get that for sure. Like, I mean, I don't, obviously, I have a way different story, but it's like, my family's weird. My name is Naveen, and I looked like a girl until I was like 20, and like, you know, just I was raised vegetarian, like a lot of like weird,
Right.
you know, different type of person stuff.
Well,
so,
dude, I also
super progressive for back then.
yeah, and it's
super
like,
progressive.
you know, I get it, like getting made fun of and like all that stuff. So I get like trying to be like, all right, I'm gonna, and being like super poor, you know, I'm not trying to like play that card, but it's like, you know, not having like the sickest clothes and all that stuff, you know,
dude,
and it's like, I appreciate it now, to be honest with you, because it's like that taught me, like gave me an advantage, you know, like to sort of, you're thinking about what other people are thinking, and it's like you can kind of almost outsmart them in a way.
It's
you know?
true.
And I think that's good. Like, I don't, any of my like struggles, quote unquote, or whatever in my life, it's like I think they're good. You know, I think that definitely
for sure.
Dude,
good
same.
lessons.
I mean, I come from a similar situation. It's like I was made fun of when I was a kid, and I've always like aired on I've always been a tomboy. Like that's my shit, and I've loved metal, and I've always wore band shirts, and people would make fun of me for wearing band shirts all the time when I was a kid, and like being more dudeish than I was like super girly. So it's like I am the same. Like I look back on all of that stuff, and it's like it really sucked at the time, but it's completely made me the person that I am. And I think that it's made me even more compassionate toward like the weirdos of the world, because I'm a fucking weirdo.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. It like, it opens you up to like experiences that like are normal, or not even, I mean, everybody gets this shit, but like,
yeah, definitely.
Sometimes people are in social dilemmas on their own to where like they can't be marginalized in public. Like, you know, how do I put this? They can't, they're not willingly putting themselves out there. So they are actually the people who are putting you in that box. Like, it's the balance.
Right.
Yeah. No.
So like, you know what I'm saying? So like us not growing up like most people, or maybe not most people, but like other people had the ability to, and they're fortunate for having, in the long run, it might have affected them on a way deeper level for the big game.
Oh, exactly. Dude, like I look at a ton of people who are considered to be like the popular kids in my high school. And it's like, dude, the cool people now are not who were the popular kids in high school. Right. They're not. Like they grew up in like, not that they're not cool in their own ways, but they're hella normal. Like they have kids. They have jobs that like.
They plateaued in 10th grade.
Yeah, they plateaued in 10th grade. That's when they were the fucking shit. And it's like almost being, when you're not the shit when you're in high school or school or whatever, it almost makes you like want to be the shit way more when you're in your 20s and 30s. And it just inspires you in a way.
Yeah, because you're learning the skills on how to be badass, right? Yeah. You're like learning lessons early on. Totally. Like, how do I fucking learn how to kill this?
Dude,
You know what I mean? Exactly. And like I said before, and honestly, I wouldn't change anything, you know, any struggle or like, you know, horrible thing that's happened to me when I was a kid or an adult or whatever. It's like, I just appreciate it all. And honestly, dude, like, I think part of a big problem with people today is they look over at someone else and they're like, look at how they didn't have to deal with X, Y, and Z, and it's so great, their life. And it's like, not really. Like, they're like, they have, like, everybody has their own shit.
Right, you don't know what got them there.
Exactly. And it's like, if that was like, why are hell of like rich people and they have the same suicide rates and drug problems. For sure. And it's like, everybody has to deal with bullshit in this world. It's just, what it is.
It's one thing to remember, like when we're looking at other musicians and like the level of what they're doing, we always have to remember, it's like, we don't know what it took for them to get them there.
Exactly.
But also, if it was reversed, we wouldn't want any one of our other peers to feel weird towards us.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it was switched.
Very
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's like,
Yeah, and I try to.
I mean, we all want the same shit.
We really do.
And I try to keep that in mind. Like if we're ever like, damn, dude, we're getting passed up by such and such, and it's like, yeah, but at the same time, you could look at some other guy. He's probably looking up to you, going like, if I could only have what Malcolm has, I'd be set.
Right.
I'd be good.
It's
I'd be
a
good.
cycle.
You know, I'd be
it really
set
is.
for the rest
Always
of my life.
greener.
Yeah.
Dude,
And you're never going to be happy. I'm never going to be happy. Tomorrow, I can reach all my goals.
Yeah.
And new goals will sprout.
Yeah.
I know.
You understand?
Dude, it's like no matter how high you get, the grass is always greener. It never changes. And it's like something that is real, and that it's something that I've focused on a lot this year, is that your happiness is totally external to all of your accomplishments as far as the things you want to do go. Like, dude, when we started Entheos, I never thought that we would like go on tour in Europe and go on tour in Mexico. And me 10 years ago, I'd be like, if I get to do that stuff that I've already done at this point, then that's success. And I'm going to be so happy after that shit.
Europe was my bucket list.
Mine too, man. Yeah. Mine too. But when I was
as soon as I got back, I was like,
I know. It's like, and when I was in Europe, I was kind of broke. So I was like, this fucking sucks. It was fun. It was so fun partying all the time and like being on a bus and like, all these things you think of as like super cool people do. But you get back from the experience and you're like, all right, well, that happened. Like on to the next thing. I'm not happy based off of that.
What do you guys do to stay grounded?
Me? Oh,
I mean, just in general, like what outside of music do you do to like keep your shit together?
Yeah,
I like to
mentally.
I like to work on like other art, like wood burning. I'm way into, and like just, dude, I work with handicapped people. I work with people who are severely disabled, and doing that has kept me grounded because I'm like, this is like, because everyone I've worked with who has been severely disabled, they're the happiest people I know.
Yeah.
Because it's like they're just stoked to be alive.
Right.
And that helps keep me grounded. But I think that staying grounded for me is just a constant process. Like I have to every morning I wake up like kind of sad, to be honest with you. And it's every day is like a leveling out process.
Yeah.
Like when you wake up, it's like chaos. It's like
what do you do to stay grounded?
Like I read a lot of like I'm into like Indian philosophy and religion. So I read a lot of books about that, and that's like the total complete opposite of the stuff that we do. It's like it all says that like this whole world is just like a bunch of bull. Yeah. And you shouldn't put any energy into it, and you should only be focused on what exists beyond this realm.
Right.
So
that you can spiritually get to the next level.
Yeah. So to me, like obviously I'm not like a spiritual person at all, but like just reading it and immersing myself in those things and like really
helps you focus on that.
Exactly.
It really does.
And deeply like contemplating it. It's like, for me, it gives me like a contrast, like you can you can just sort of get to a point where like, hey, in this world, there's like pockets that exist where people are like not concerned with what you're concerned about at all, and it's the total complete opposite, and it just brings like a balance for me. It's kind of like an affirmation almost in a way.
Yeah.
Like this is cool and I love doing it and stuff, but it's definitely not all there is, and there's so many other ways of like thinking and living on this planet, like
that's been big for me too, to like realize that like metal is not all there is.
No, exactly. For sure. And I think that's like part of the problem that a lot of people have is like they get so fixed on like one little tiny point, and it's like, dude, this fucking existence is huge.
Totally.
And like your little thing, it actually like as a matter of scientific fact, as a matter of scientific fact, it does not matter.
You know what also works, dude? Okay, so I think, did we ever take you to the cliffs when we were here, or when you were here with us practicing?
I don't think so.
Oh God, we're assholes.
I'm not sure.
Okay, so now we moved into a house and we live like a block away from the cliffs, and it's like every time I'm in front of the ocean, I just realize how fucking small I am.
Yeah.
And how
Was that over there by the pizza spot?
Yeah, like over there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you do?
We live really close there now.
What do you do, Malcolm? What do you do to level it out? Nothing. It's not leveled out.
No, it was snakes and stuff, but I haven't been able to do that. I don't know. I like video editing.
Yeah.
And more grinding. Just on a different
and
level.
honestly, you can. The thing is, like, that's one of the things that I have picked up from like the Vedic Indian kind of culture is it's like you don't necessarily have to be this like spiritual person like living in a cave and meditating all day.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's like you can cultivate that attitude in anything that you do.
You really can.
So it's really about like I'm doing this thing because that's what this like physical body like Naveen, let's say that there is this like physical character called Naveen, and it's like Naveen does like Naveen stuff, and it's like whatever that stuff is, like just do it because that's what this thing does.
Totally.
And that's all.
Right.
Like there's not I don't have the option to say like, okay, after I do this I'm going to put it out and I'm going to get this many views and I'm going to get this many followers. Like I don't have control of that.
It out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like if you just sort of focus more on like just doing the work that is fun to do for you.
Yeah.
That's it.
That is,
and then just end there.
That's
and don't take it further than that.
That's something that I've really noticed for myself. Like if I get online and I like scroll down or whatever and I see something that makes me bummed out, I look inside of myself and I'm like, well, I'm actually just unhappy with the fact that I'm not like creating or doing something that I want to do right now. And I'm looking at fucking Instagram instead. So if I get off and I like go work on some demos or do something artistic or just something to like move myself forward, it always helps, man. It's always an antidepressant to work on my own stuff.
Exactly.
That's what brings me joy. I watched a video, I think it was like 2 days ago, because I, for some reason, I've been sparked up into Star Wars lately. So I was just like going through some videos late at night and watching Star Wars stuff. And there was an interview with George Lucas who said that he said, pleasure is short term and joy is long term.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
And it's like, oh, so it's like, you know, he's like, joy is, or pleasure is like self-centered and joy is like giving to others, others based.
Yeah.
It's real.
Exactly. And that's exactly kind of what I'm talking about. You know, it's more about, you're not concerned about the little temporary pleasures that you're going to get. Like, cause those just, you do it and it feels good and then it goes. But like me just sort of fulfilling what feels like really, like for me when and I'm sure you feel the same way. Like if I'm playing a lot of guitar or I'm editing a video or like when I'm in the zone,
cloud nine. Dude.
Yeah. I'm just,
totally.
I don't even care. It's just, dude, I'm doing my fucking thing. Like this is what this physical body is meant to do that. That's it. You know? Yeah. And so I think
I have to remind myself to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and
same.
it's like,
well, this is what happiness is.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know. That's the crazy part is that you think that happiness has to do with all of these accomplishments and shit, but really happiness has to do with just feeding
doing the thing.
Yeah, doing
before
the
other
thing.
people have it.
Doing the thing. It's like, dude, I'm way happier off of like making a record than I am hearing people's opinions of the record after. It's like just
100%.
doing
exactly.
that is happiness. Doing what you love, I think, is like really one of those things that can help center you and make you a person that you want to be. And it's easy, especially with the internet. It's so easy to get sidetracked from that shit.
Yeah.
Or like try to see someone doing something that's like taking off and you're like, all right, I should be doing that. That's like, I got to do that. But that's not what it's about, man.
Yeah, it's like everyone has their own path, you know, and as many people there's that many paths.
Yeah.
You know, that's sort of like a little like proverb. I don't know how to say it, but it's
proverb.
Yeah, it's like as many people, as many paths. Everybody has their own path, and that's that. And you got to keep that in mind. And like I can totally relate because I remember like when I first started doing stuff like completely on my own, like with the Flesh Rot album and stuff. Like, dude, I remember like just having like crazy, just record like being like done with the song and like listening to it by myself and like just like jumping up and down, and I was like,
Dude,
this is so fucking crazy. Like, and I remember just being completely by myself and like,
yeah.
And it was so weird to me, and because I was so used to being in a band, and I was like, dude, this is what it's all about. Like this feeling right here. Just, I'm completely alone. I'm just doing, what I'm supposed to do in this life, and I feel fucking great. And like, you don't need any fans to do that. You don't need any followers. Like you can just do that, and that's like, obviously, you have to figure out a way to balance that out for sure, because it's like. I have the tendency to just like go in a hole, and I would just do that for the rest of my life, and no one would ever hear from me again.
For sure.
But like,
for sure,
I'm not trying to go out like that. I want to like,
you want at least a couple people to hear it.
So you got to try to find a way to balance it for sure. But like, to me, I remember like specifically one day, I remember like the song I was working on and stuff, like just being like, this is it, dude. There's like no better feeling than this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like when I'm creating stuff, and I don't want this to sound weird, but the level of joy when you are like killing it, you're playing good, you're recording it, your ideas are flowing. It's like the song's writing itself, and you just feel like your own God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's complete. It's
almost, but it's almost like like you're not even the guide. Like something is. Yeah, I'm not going like the God route or anything, but I'm saying it does sometimes feel like you're just like. The tool. The
conduit.
Yeah, exactly. You're the conduit. You're there, and everything is just traveling through you, and it's making its way out, and you don't know how it got there or how it began in the first place, but you're just there to do it. And there's something that feels naturally right about that stuff a lot of the time, and you can't explain it, but that is when I'm the happiest. Totally. Is when I'm doing that.
And I believe that. Like, I'm not like things that I actually believe is, and I've always felt that way because I don't really feel like I've worked that hard to do all the stuff that I've done.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't know, like here it is, So I do feel like it I don't know what the mechanism is. You couldn't explain it, but it just happens, Yeah. And I'm meant to do that, and that's it.
Right.
There's not much more to it than that.
But you did work hard to do it. It just like brought you more joy to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
So it didn't
like some people I look at other musicians, and it's like they've like sat down and they've like done their rudiments, and it's like that's sick. I love that. Don't get me wrong. Right. But like for me personally, I haven't done any of that. I've just been like, I've worked hard, quote unquote, by like spending a lot of time doing it, but it's always super joyful and it's never like boring. I do it for fun, That's just I like it. That's what you were saying. It's like that's what gives me the feeling of being like when you're saying like you feel like God or your own God or whatever. It's like really what that feels like is being complete,
Yeah,
and there's nothing missing. You just feel like here it is. I'm living, And to me, that's what living is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to do that more.
Good. That's a good thing to do.
So I'm trying to figure out how to do that. Dude. Seriously.
Yeah.
All right, man. So we're at 2 hours with this shit. Are there any bands? Are there any bands you're listening to lately that you want people to check out?
Oh man, bands listening to. Just go check out Abiotic, Demon King.
Hell yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't listen to bands.
I know. Right?
I know.
It's hard.
I know.
I mean, that's another thing about Spotify that's great. It's like I can check into Spotify and it's like it'll shoot me a bunch of like, here's what you missed, and I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm up to date. And it's as a listener, fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, just check out the label.
Yeah, check out Artisan Era
label.
They're at the tip top of the tech death.
Artisan
tiers.
Snakes is not around anymore.
Not
Reptiles.
anymore. But man, it's been fucking great. It's been great catching up with you.
Yeah, dude, for real.
Yeah, really has
absolutely,
been.
That's one of the things we love about having the podcast. It's like, this is great to catch up with.
Just hang out with the homies.
Yeah, totally. But Cheney and I are planning something kind of big, dude. I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
So we might be in your fucking neck of the woods pretty soon. We might be visiting
you in Nashville.
Yeah. Hey man, you let me know then.
Yeah, for real, dude. All right, man. Well, it's fucking good hanging out with you, brother.
Yeah, this has been great,
Much love, guys.
Much love, dude.
Peace out, man. We'll see you next time.
Later, dude. Take care.
All right, hold on. We'll roll this song.
Roll that.
All right, Malcolm. For real, man. Good seeing you, bro.
Check out all Malcolm's shit. He's in every band you could ever think of. He is
Peace.
omnipresent.